Hello and welcome to yet another day of No Tilt Worlds. I'm Rich Slayton. This afternoon or evening or morning, wherever you might be, we have two really excellent matchups. Let's jump into it. So already this morning, you may have seen South Korea take down Russia. Russia most likely eliminated from bracket contention. And then China continue their dominance against Taiwan. So it looks like it's going to be South Korea and China moving on from Group B. And this afternoon, some Group G and Group D action, France and Romania, in a match that's going to have massive implications overall. And then later, the UK and Serbia. As you can see right now, France and Romania leading the group at this stage. Spain watching very closely. If Romania beats France, Spain totally has control of their own destiny, needing to beat France and Greece. But if France beats Romania, everything is in chaos, and we could end up, potentially, if Spain beats France, with 3-2-1 teams and a three-way tie coming down to a bunch of crazy tiebreakers. But they will not be able to do anything about these next few minutes. Just have to watch and see how France and Romania match up. France had a pretty easy one against Greece. Chetty and Intox doing a great job in 2v2. Azili's back in the lineup one more time. Will probably appear in the 1v1 set. Over on the Romanian side, Lege and Royal doing a good job in 2v2. And then Fla coming out with the nice, clean 2-1 sweep. Our 3-0 sweep and King of the Hill. Shadow getting mixed in. Maybe he will be appearing in our 1v1 set. So very excited to see if Fla can continue being on top form. The 1-2-3 sweep in King of the Hill against Spain to secure things for the Romanian side. A great performance with some brilliant gameplay, including that fantastic tornado freeze combination to secure the victory over Michifu. So Fla playing at a very high level, was of course meant to be in CRL last season, and then unfortunately some events made it so he could not participate, but making his case to be back in CRL potentially sometime in 2020. A very, very talented player with a very high skill set up against a very good French team that some people may have been underestimating. Of course, very difficult to give them a clear evaluation after that match against Greece, since Greece kind of threw. You might have seen that Expo played in the first 7 seconds in game 1 of 1v1. So we'll maybe get a better look at what the French squad is capable of here in this match against Romania. So here we go. Very interesting turn of events here. Fla will be back in the 2v2. Sorry, it was Romania. It was Royal and Fla last time, not Royal and Lege. So Royal and Fla coming back out in 2v2, looking to get another set win. Chetty and Intox back in the 2v2 as well for their team. So we will see which one comes out on top and gives their team a pretty significant advantage going into the 1v1 set. Most likely expecting it to be Azelis and probably Shadow for the Romanian side. So here we go. 2v2. Romania top of your screen. France bottom of your screen. And both of these squads won it in a 2-1 in their first set of 2v2, so neither one came out with the clean sweep. We'll see what they can pull off here. So wall breakers for the French side, and an early aggressive balloon for the Romanians. Goblin Cage down, and Inferno Dragon. Freeze comes in, but I do not believe that balloon's going to have enough legs to get to the tower. No, it doesn't, and no death damage as well, and now a mountain going in the opposite direction. P.E.K.K.A. Miner tanked for by the P.E.K.K.A. Miner on the tower, but Mega Minion does take it out. Still, damage done, 1897. Right-hand lane remaining for the Romanians. It's very interesting seeing Royal here in 2v2. Little to no 2v2 experience in his CRL career, I believe. Only appearing in one 2v2 set, an 0-2 loss back in CRL North America, their championship run for Immortals. But you have to imagine that a big reason why he's in 2v2 is all the experience with his 2v2 scrims at a high level with Crap and the God RF. We've seen this a few times, players who are head-to-head specialists but have CRL experience getting moved into the 2v2. These international sides realizing just how important it is to win that opening set. Miner to the inside. Prince does not get across in time, so Miner gets taken down by the bomb tower, but that Prince will connect. 976, Romania in a ton of trouble here. France making it look easy so far as we enter into the double elixir time. Fireball gets the Dark Goblin off the board, but Ewiz comes down right behind. Lots of air defense here from the Romanians. So far, we've got a Dark Goblin, Inferno Dragon, Bats, Ewiz, not to mention the Goblin Cage and the Snowball, so tons of ways to keep those balloons from breaking through. And really haven't needed much of the wall breakers so far. They do create pressure, and now it is the Romanians going opposite lane, getting pressure off their right-hand tower and trying to break through, but there's simply too much air defense. It's like trying to fly a balloon through an actual building right now. No way to go forward. And this is going to be most likely a fairly easy Game 1 win for the French. Not even breaking a sweat, down to 46 HP right-hand side. It's going to play some clean defense here. Fireball, Dark Goblin, Poison High to clean all that up. And they'll go ahead and go Miner right-hand side, take down the tower. Cheeky Freeze and Snowball just to put a cap on it. And France easily takes the first 2v2 set. Or 2v2 game, still potentially 2 more games left in the set for this side. So very, very well played by France. Good matchup. Now you got to wonder again, I don't remember exactly what Romania played last time out, but France getting basically an unlosable matchup on their side. No way for that balloon to break through. So much air defense, so many options, and fairly inexpensive for that deck as well. So able to get back to all their different air defense options repeatedly. France coming out and taking advantage in a nice opening win, and that's got to feel good. France knows that this is going to be really tight. A win here for France, most likely, a win for either side, for France or Romania, most likely would secure them away all the way through. But for Romania, definitely a way through. If France wins here and they go up 2-0, there's still the possibility that Spain beats France, and then Spain beats the final team in Greece, and then we have a 3-way tie potentially at 2-1 if Romania beats Greece as well. Taking a look at the stats from this 2v2 game, and you can see it really wasn't about the wall breakers that much. It was a lot of the damage coming in with those counter pushes on the right-hand lane for Intox and Chetty. Flaw and Royal playing a bunch of balloons, but just not able to find any way through. So much air defense, making it difficult for them to get into the second level, and in the end, a fairly easy win for the French. So again, to put this in context, right now, France and Romania both on top. If Romania wins, because of that win over Spain, Romania will, I believe, have secured their way through to the out rounds, unless something completely crazy happens, unless Greece suddenly turns into a world beater. On the other side of things, if France wins and then they lose to Spain, things get very, very tight and very, very interesting, because you can expect that all 3 of these top teams should run through Greece the way that France did it as well. And that would make things come down to tiebreakers, which could get really, really complicated, especially if there's a round robin of defeats between the top 3 squads. So we will see how that shakes out. First of all, we got 2v2 to play. France up 1 in this opening set. Lava Hound this time for the Romanians. Immediately responded to by an Inferno and a Battle Healer. We have seen that Battle Healer Night Witch Graveyard deck somehow get worked into 2v2 a little bit lately. We'll see if that's the direction they're going in. We did see one team, I can't remember who, attempt an Elixir Golem deck. I can't imagine that's what France is doing here. We saw how disastrous that idea was in 2v2. Solid cleanup there by the French. They take a few hundred damage in that first minute, but avoid the big, big problems. So Lava Miner for the Romanians. And 1 extra Baby Dragon Belch on a 1774 right-hand side. And now the French choose to Lava up in the left-hand lane. Interesting Battle Healer with the Lava Hound. So Lava Night Witch Battle Healer. Most likely we'll see if they get back around that Battle Healer in the left-hand lane, but might be focused more on defending right-hand side. Inferno Dragon, making it look easy though. and arrows as well. So not much spent on the right-hand side in defense for the French. Really able to keep things cheap and get it done. And there you did see the battle healer coming in on the left-hand side with that French push. Inferno Dragon does connect a little bit on the right, and while they are behind, France now has the damage lead, or not the damage lead, but has damage in both lanes. Romania with the single tower damage lead as we go into double elixir. Royal, of course, a lot of experience in CRL, 3 seasons overall, but of course very little in 2v2 other than scrims. But in 1v1 sets, which he will not be appearing in today, 1v1 sets in Season 1 of CRL North America, was both the games and sets win leader. And an overall head-to-head win rate of 58%. Take a look at that, left-hand lane. France just shreds through that tower. Romania, 14 seconds trying to get this one back, but looks like it's all going to be on the head-to-head play for the Romanians now. 446, 382. They do not have the spell damage unless the lightning is not going to be there, though. Not enough elixir for it. And there you have it, 301. Romania maybe miscalculating here a little bit and dropping the 2v2 set and a straight sweep to the French side. So France comes out and continues their success in the 2v2 set. Chetty and Intox now 2-0 in 2v2, and now with a chance to close things out in the 1v1, you have to imagine Azelis is coming out. The question is, who will Romania be sending out? Will they send out Lege or will they send out Shadow? My guess is that Shadow will come out for the Romanian side in that 1v1. We'll get over there in just a moment. 2v2, though. France doing a good job in both games. The first one, of course, was matchup top to bottom. Just there was absolutely no way for Romania to get through. Second game, France did a good job of defending efficiently. You saw it twice on the right-hand side in particular. The Inferno Dragon Arrows defense against the Lava Hound and Mega Minions. So defending 10 with just 7 and able to take that advantage. And it might not seem it, but in 2v2 with how much more slowly the elixir flows, even that 3 elixir can be just as critical as it is in a head-to-head match. And you saw it work out very, very well for the French side. And here they go into our 1v1 set with a pretty significant advantage. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how Azelis comes out in the 1v1. Looked really good against Greece, but of course, the Greek player with, it was all just lines. There was no actual name. It's kind of a trolly name. The Greek player kind of made some interesting choices and ended up essentially throwing game number 1, and then Azelis at that point must have rolled his eyes a little bit and just gone all the way to town, taking an easy 2-0 sweep and closing things up for France. Azelis really is at a good level right now. And let's go take a look first before we get into that at the stats from that 2v2 set. And not a lot of lava play. It was, a lot of the battle was taking place with the miners, and it's the Rage, just one well-timed Rage from the French. And Rage in 2v2 does have a place. Rage was played a lot in CRL Asia and China as opposed to CRL West, whereas the Western squads tend to go with the Lumberjack, as you're going to see in the hand of Flaw over there on the right-hand side. The Asians tended to go with Rage for its defensive ability and just having 2 elixir less. The Lumberjack not being as necessary, and you can see here that move paying off for the French side. So France goes up 2-0, takes a 2-0 sweep, goes up 1-0 in sets, and has a nice advantage heading into 1v1. And we'll find out here in just a moment if I'm right on my predictions for the head-to-head play. Most likely, my guess, again, Azelis, who at one point in 2017, it was either Azelis or Surgical Goblin winning every single Clash Royale event across Europe. And of course, Azelis played with Surgical Goblin on Team Liquid in the first season of CRL and then moved on to Team Queso, where had a kind of a career resurgence at Team Queso, playing really well in 2v2 and showing his level in 1v1. And it's going to be Azelis, and a bit of a surprise here. I thought it was going to be Shadow coming out for the Romanians, but instead it's Lege coming out for the Romanian side. Maybe it's Lege. I don't know how you pronounce that name from the Romanian perspective, but either way, this is our matchup. And Lege currently with S2V Esports in Orange Crown League, I believe as an analyst. I don't know if I've seen him actually play over in OCL, but he did play in the Clash Contender Series European region with Wham Esports, where they took 5th, and this is also his 2nd time representing Romania after they took 3rd in World Royale League 3. So, really aggressive Lava Hound play from Lege to open things up here. Controversial, maybe? We'll see if it pays off. Today, there's an actual debate happening right now on Twitter about Lava and Golem first play. And Azili's poison stops ticking one step early. Disaster for the Frenchman. Absolute disaster. It felt like that poison might be a half step early, and it stops ticking 1 point early. All of those lava pups stay alive just enough to shred that left-hand tower down to 500 HP. And the gamble, the aggressive play for the Romanian pays off. Azili's in a world of hurt in the first minute of play. And expect now at 8 Elixir, you might see the Romanian do it again. Decides against it, this time playing a little bit more circumspect, maybe knowing that he has the advantage, does not have to do that. Maybe he's going to go Lava left-hand lane, or right-hand lane now. Going for the minor damage here. So expect Lege to go Lava into the right fairly soon. Now that he has that left-hand tower down to 118. And he is just holding off. I really thought that Lege with the aggressive play would get more aggressive over on the right-hand side, but knowing the matchup, seeing the cards, knowing he's probably against Graveyard, decides to hold off and just play defense, knowing he has that poison. And really, Poison, Baby Dragon, and Skeletons are his only, I guess the Zap as well, his ways of dealing with that Graveyard push. And now France. Azili's going Graveyard right-hand lane. Poison is down in response. Final 40 seconds. Azili's using the Tornado to keep that mini P.E.K.K.A off the right-hand side. Does not have a lot of opportunity left, so has to go ahead and just get these graveyards down and hope he can get past. But I believe that poison should be back in cycle in time for Lege, so it's going to be pretty near impossible for Azili's to take a tower at this point. Yep, poison comes down pretty easily, final 12 seconds. And Azili says, well played. Maybe a bit frustrated after that Lava Hound play early on and knowing that he mistimed that poison by just a half step, or could not get that Lava Hound to pop early enough. Lege taking game number 1, and I am really impressed, despite the ridiculous, you might say, sort of the aggressive Lava Hound play early on, and maybe it was him knowing his cycle in that moment. Despite the aggressive play early on from Lege, decides to go non-aggressive in the backhand and the backside of it, does not go Lava Hound right-hand lane, which you might expect from a lot of players who are less experienced, and instead holds off, plays really good defense, and locks it down against Azili's. And really, really tough game for Azili's. Has to bounce back in game number 2. Lege now 1 up, and we could be potentially seeing ourselves go to a third set, to a King of the Hill set, but right now Lege needs to get one more win, 2 chances to close out the Frenchman and get a big signature win early on, and keeping this Romanian side alive here in 1v1 and in this match against France. Remember, Romania with a chance to clinch the out rounds if they win this this match against France. But if France wins this thing, then this whole group could be thrown into absolute chaos. We'll get more on that later, obviously, as things are decided. As I was saying, Azili's in general has shown his level very, very much improved, back to form is a better way to say it, in this last CRL West 2019 run. Taking a look at the stats here for a moment. He's definitely got back to form in 2v2 over the spring and fall of 2019. Went 17-4 in games. And then in head-to-head play, had some really great King of the Hill runs, especially in the fall season. 2 King of the Hill sweeps in the CRL West fall season. So Azili is definitely playing well in head-to-head play overall. Has not been playing a lot of 1v1s, though, in CRL since his opening season in CRL EU. Lege getting a big first win, getting aggressive early and taking advantage. So we will see if he can close things out in this 1v1 set, or if the Frenchman can even it up and prevent this from going to a King of the Hill, where, as we've seen before, time and time again, literally anything can happen in King of the Hill, especially in this tournament. And you have some really talented head-to-head players on the Romanian side as well. Already seen some good play from Lege, but on top of that, you do not want to go in there with flaw with the way he's playing, what he just did against Spain. Azili's would love to reverse sweep this thing and close it out against Romania. So early cycle Barb Barrel for Azili's. Forces the response out from Lege. And Mega Knight in the back corner for Azili. 7 elixir spent very early. Bomb Tower in response, so maybe it's Lege reversing fortune and going with the Graveyard deck in response to Azili's. Miner, right-hand side. Mini P.E.K.K.A behind. And that Mini P.E.K.K.A picking up the Mega Minion, letting that Miner do some work. 2 healthy troops and 1 half healthy troop, right-hand side. Musketeer Bar Barrel easily stops that. So Azili's with some pressure play early on, and the Romanian does not blink. Wall breakers in front of the Musketeer, and Bar Barrel just stops that easily. So here we go. Suddenly, Azili's behind on elixir by about 3, maybe 4. Baby Dragon right-hand lane. Mega Minion will tank, or Mega Knight will tank. And good job there with the Baby Dragon distracted, getting the minions behind. And that Mega Knight dying in midair helped Lege out a lot. Not going to pull the trigger at this stage. Mini P.E.K.K.A and Cycle easily stops that. And there you go. Look at this. Spreading him thin. Right-hand lane goes the Miner. Has to contend with that Miner and Mini P.E.K.K.A. Left-hand lane goes the Wall Breakers. That was a beautiful play by the Frenchman. Doing a great job of spreading Lege's focus across the board. Poison down. And again, it's been interesting. Mini P.E.K.K.A now Wall Breakers in as well. Almost no elixir for the Romanian. Gets a bomb tower down very, very late. Azili's put on a clinic here in game 2. You're so used to it being the minor wall breakers pushing. Now we see a minor wall breakers with the Mini P.E.K.K.A as well, but Azili's done a good job of varying up his offensive attack and not letting Lege be able to predict anything too well. Minor wall breakers has been the most dominant archetype in this tournament so far. Miner's play rate is through the roof right now, so people curious to see what happens when that suspected minor nerf comes in. Sudden death overtime. Azili's opts to let the Mega Minion go right-hand lane. Mega Knight to stop the E-Wiz. Huge lead for the Frenchman. Of course, looking like Lege is playing Graveyard in that triple elixir period, Lege can just play 1 Graveyard and change absolutely everything. Unless that tower falls on the left-hand side. Azili's comes back in game 2 and evens things up. Beautiful play by the Frenchman. Aggressive, keeping his opponent spread thin, and taking care of business. France now, 1 win away from closing out the Romanians. Lege needs to make some big choices here and see if he can keep Romania in the mix. Romania currently has their fate in his hands, but it's a tall order, beating Azili's, who is, again, motivated, ready, and just signed with Tribe. Tribe, again, with that monster squad. If you haven't been paying attention, Tribe currently signed Azili's, Buffmac, and TNT. TNT coming, of course, over from CRL Asia after a great run with OGN Entis to join Sean Kim as the coach of Tribe Gaming. So Tribe putting together a monster squad for this season. Very curious to see who they put where. Azili's has been great in 2v2. My guess is that you make Azili's one part of a 2v2 team, and 2v2 and King of the Hill player. Buffmac, most likely your 1v1 player. And then I'm not sure what TNT's role is going to be in there. TNT is also a good 2v2 player who has 1v1 and King of the Hill prowess as well. So it'll be curious to see who they add in as their final member, their 4th. Most likely 4 players for that team. They could go 5. I'm guessing they keep it at 4. Don't exactly know who that 4th person is going to be just yet. The rumors were it was meant to be ex-Pedro, but because of, again, those visa issues, Pedro not able to come in and play in CRL West. So with going back to the drawing board, they're going to be very curious to see what Tribe Gaming does with that roster. But Azili's at the level he's playing, a great pickup. Great pickup for Tribe. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stats from that game. It was, again, the Mini P.E.K.K.A play right? The Mini P.E.K.K.A didn't get a lot of shots on tower, but what it did do was force responses out of Lege over and over and over again, never able to get Graveyard down throughout the entire match. On defense, not able to pull the trigger, and it was pressure and split lane pressure. Really, really aggressive, smart play by Azealis. Not just going minor wall breakers to give an easy defense on those, but minor mini P.E.K.K.A and then making you guess with the wall breakers. There was one great push where he went minor mini P.E.K.K.A to the right-hand side, forced the Ewis to look that direction, wall breakers opposite lane, and that left-hand lane was the tower that eventually fell. So Azealis definitely looking good here in game number 2. Some fantastic play. We'll see if he can keep it up in game 3 and close things out for the French, or if Lege can extend this match into King of the Hill and give Fla another chance to come out and run the table and see if he can keep up the form he showed against Spain with that brilliant King of the Hill 1-2-3 sweep. King of the Hill is so unpredictable in this tournament. So unbelievably unpredictable. Again, there's a lot of talent here from CRL, but a lot of non-CRL talent. You know, if you're above a 7K player, most likely you can play this game pretty darn well. Not a lot of people are 7K players if you actually look statistically, percentage-wise overall in the Clash Royale community. So anybody who's underestimating any player with a 7 at the beginning of their trophy count is making a big mistake in my opinion, and we've seen that here already. So here we go. Game number 3. Lege and Azealis. And Lege opens minor, picked up by the Hunter. So could Azealis be going Sparky in this game? Goblin Giant Sparky with Earthquake has been the popular Sparky deck so far in this tournament. So minor, Bandit, E-Wiz so far for Lege. Cannon Cart for Azealis. This has shades of an old Royal Hogs deck. You know, maybe Azealis looked at that dual lane pressure and what it did to his opponent, decided to go back to some dual lane pressure again. We'll see if that's the choice the Frenchman did make. Beautiful Ice Whiz by Azealis to preserve the Hunter. Minor, Bandit, right-hand lane. Furnace picks up the Bandit. Minor will get a bunch of shots on the right-hand side. Cannon Cart to clean it up. First 90 seconds of gameplay away. Romania up by about a little under 500 HP on the right-hand side. Ewiz stops the Cannon Cart before connections. So here we go, double elixir time. We'll see what Azealis can do against what looks to be a minor control deck. You know, probably Poison is that last card. Minor left-hand lane. Furnace to the back. Doesn't get the pickup. Cheeky attempt with that Furnace by the Frenchman. Getting deep into the game. Azealis has not yet made an aggressive move. Minor to the right-hand side. There you go. It's Graveyard again for Azealis. Cannon Cart Graveyard. So far, Graveyard has not won in this 1v1 series. Double Furnace left-hand lane. Azealis just trying to put pressure on that left-hand tower and keep it as much away from that 1603 on the right side as he possibly can. And Azealis just, there we go. Hunter does come down a little bit late. And now we should see a Graveyard pop here one more time. Ice Golem does get across the bridge. Cannon Cart, Mega Minion behind. Healthy Furnace to support as well. Poison high to worry about that E-Wiz and do some damage on the P.E.K.K.A. Mama P.E.K.K.A does fall. And look at that. Cannon Cart keeping the aggro from the Baby Dragon. Azealis continuing to keep the pressure on this left-hand lane with these Furnaces. And those Fire Spirits, so frustrating. Just every time one gets all the way through, could be a big-time difference maker. Poison down for the Frenchman. Final 75 seconds. And with that poison, Azealis just about 55 HP behind his opponent. Cannon cart does connect. What a massive connection. Azealis looking great right now. All the momentum out of Lege. This minor control deck not able to get it done. Nice kite with the Ice Golem. Minor does get on, snowballs in both directions, but that second snowball opens up enough room there, down to 668 right-hand side. Final 30 seconds. This one is absolutely neck and neck. Minor to the right-hand side. The Hunter played early by Azealis. Snowball makes enough room. Lege just up ahead by a little bit. Final 10 seconds. 500 HP left-hand side. Left-hand side under 400, and Azealis takes it. Azealis gets it done. 4 seconds left, and the Frenchman closes things out, takes the 1v1 victory in this best of 3, and puts France in a good spot here, now with 2 wins, in control of their fate. France, with a win over Spain, would clinch the division, clinch the group, and of course clinch a spot all the way through. Romania now falling to 1-1 will most likely make short work of Greece. We'll see what happens there, but Spain now with a door opening up as well. With Romania losing, Spain can now go 2-1 and get into a tiebreaker situation with Romania and France. So France now controls their fate. Spain has an open door, but they have to beat this French side that looks very, very good right now. Let's go take a look at that game. And yes, it was Poison. The Poison never played on defense for the Graveyard. And for Lege, really only have 2 primary ways of getting damage on tower, the Poison and the Minor, but choosing never to pop the Poison on Graveyard, maybe saving it to play it on offense, but never going with it either direction. So kind of curious decision-making there by Lege with the Minor Poison control deck, and not be able to get enough at the end. And it was Azealis who played it smart, put a lot of pressure in the left-hand lane after falling behind early on in the right-hand lane, decided where the action would take place, and did not let Lege become the decision-maker over the course of that game, taking the victory in the game, the set, and the match. France moving to 2-0 in the group. And most likely, unless they lose to Spain and things get crazy, most likely they have secured a way through. Romania now have to beat Greece. It's going to be this Spain-France match is going to be huge. It's going to be everything. It's going to be absolutely everything. If France beats Spain and Romania beats Greece, Romania goes through. But if Spain beats France and Romania beats Greece, everything gets absolutely wild. We get into tiebreakers, and we have to go and see, well, what is the set differential? What's the game differential? What's the crown differential potentially? So, going to be looking very, very closely when that match does pop up in week 3 of group stage play. Azealis in great form, now moving to 4-1 in 1v1 games, 2-0 in 1v1 sets so far, 4-1 overall, 80% win rate in his head-to-head play. Lege struggles in this debut, played really aggressive game number 1, worked out well for him, and then in game 2 and game 3, just really could not shift the car into gear, stuck in neutral the entire way through, and unable to create really any offense in either of those games. Game 1 especially, or game 2, didn't even get to play his Graveyard, and then in game 3, got some offense down early on, but in the end, did a good job of getting significant damage on both sides, but never really able to do anything with his Poison. Played 0 poisons entire game against a Graveyard deck, and you got to wonder how much of a role that played in the long run. Of course, a lot of the damage for Azealis coming from troop damage rather than spell damage, rather than that Graveyard damage. So, rough one for Lege. Romania had a shot at closing things out. Instead, the door is now open. Anything can happen in this tournament. France doing what people expected. 2-0 so far. And we'll see what it's like when France and Spain take each other on next week. What a wonderful game that was, back and forth, the 2v2, Very, very interesting. Intox and Chetty, by the way, looked really, really good. Great deck choice in the first game of 2v2, taking that win, getting it done, and then in game 2, just very solid gameplay, and then Azili still continues to be in top form. The big question will be, what does Spain do against France? Spain struggled against the Romanians. Fla just came out and went 1-2-3, really took them down with some really next-level gameplay. We never got a chance to see Fla enter into the head-to-head play this time around. The Romanians falling in 2 straight sets for the sweep. So the big question is, what does Spain have? What kind of corrections and adjustments have they made to prepare for their match against France? Of course, Spain next has Greece, and that should be a fairly simple one for the unbelievably stacked roster for a team that most people had number 1 in their power rankings. But, you know, no win is guaranteed so far. We've certainly seen that. And today, what looked to be a really close matchup, thought it might go all the way to King of the Hill, ends up a 2-0 sweep for France in their match 2 play. And there you have the standings after 2. It's France with the clean 2-0, 6 points in the group. Romania stays at 3. Spain and Greece will be a deciding game, and I don't want to count Greece out of that one, but with the showing they had against France and with the level that Spain is bringing to the game, you have to imagine that Spain should take care of that fairly simply. And then, as I said before, things get pretty complicated on the back end. So that's going to be it for the action in that group. We have our next match today, which is going to be very, very interesting as well. Team UK, one of the many number 1 seeds that has already fallen in their first week match, showing up in their second week against Serbia. And Serbia had a very, very solid win with a King of the Hill victory in Game 5, courtesy of Tochi Lovac. Tochi coming out in the end and clutching things up for Serbia. Very different matchup for the Serbians this time around against Team UK. You have to imagine the United Kingdom has made some adjustments after what was a bit of a shocking loss against the Italians. The Italians, though, talking about teams that have 7K players, Italy stacked with players who have competitive experience, who have good ladder records, and Italy came out and showed everyone that they are at a high level. So we'll be back with that match in about 20 minutes. The UK against Serbia. Here we go, final match of the day. The United Kingdom looks to rebound after an upset loss to Italy against Serbia. Welcome back to the final match of our day. You just saw France 2-0 against Romania. And now the UK comes out and looks to rebound against a Serbian squad that won a very, very close one in their last time out. Hi, I'm Rich Slayton, Clash Royale League caster. You'll be with me for however long this match ends up. And as you can see the standings right now, Serbia taking out Turkey all the way in a best of 3 all the way down to the 5th and final game of King of the Hill. And Italy with an upset against the United Kingdom, but when you look at that Italian squad, the skill set they have, this was a much closer match than you might have imagined, and Italy proved that with the win over the UK. So now the British squad, led by Buffmac, looking to get back in the winners column in this matchup with Serbia. The UK lineup for today, Thunderstruck and SB, was the 2v2 duo last time out. We'll see if St. Belican gets mixed in. Of course, Buffmac on that team as well. Over to Serbia, Tocilovac, the hero last time out, closing things out in King of the Hill with the final game win to get the victory for his squad. And of course, Arkan Ivana and Cone Corleone. Ivana and Cone Corleone, the 2v2 duo last time out. We'll see if that's the same duo this time for this match. Hi, once again, I'm Rich Slayton, Clash Royale League caster, along with my friend Andrew Guy. He and I are switching off for those of you who've been asking about that in chat today. For now, it's me, back with me again tomorrow, and Andrew will be back again fairly soon. Maybe the two of us will get together when we get into those bracket rounds. Today, we have the United Kingdom up against Serbia. I did a little brief poll on Twitter. 69% of you chose the UK, and the remainder 31 chose Serbia to win today. But as we've seen, anybody can win on any day here in the No-Tilt Worlds. And we've seen lots of big-time teams take big-time losses. Mexico has already lost. Spain, of course, has already lost. The USA, the UK, anybody can win on any day. And Serbia looking to do that one more time here. So it will be St. Belican and SB out again for the UK, Cone Corleone, and Arkan coming out for Serbia in this 2v2 set. Very excited to see what Serbia has in store for a UK squad and to see if UK can get back on track. So St. Belican getting mixed into the 2v2. I think that's the right call, even though Thunder and SB got the win their last time out. St. Belican is one of the more experienced and more talented 2v2 players in this entire tournament. Of course, was fantastic for the squad when he was with Team Queso in CRL EU. So here we go. Cone Corleone and Arkan for Serbia, top of the screen. St. Belican and SB at the bottom for the UK. You can see from the jersey, St. Belican currently with Cream Esports, playing in the Orange Crown League. Will finish out his school year, and then we expect to see him back in CRL in 2020 fall split, where he might stay with Cream, but may also return to Team Queso, a team he has a long-time relationship with. SB, of course, did 2 seasons in CRL Asia. Arkan and Cone Corleone. Cone Corleone, quite a bit of competitive experience. 2 top 4 finishes in the global tournament, plus playing with WAM Esports in the Clash Contender Series EU. Arkan, a personal best of 73.56, best finish 867th in the world, making his debut for the No-Tilt Worlds. Giant Skeleton Dark Prince for the Serbian side. And it is Graveyard for the Serbians. Double Tornado Band, you can see on the right-hand side of your screen. And Dark Prince Skellies with Dark Goblin in the back, clean out most of that, and now a slightly healthy counter push. Log from the Serbians takes out the Dark Goblin and Skellies. And Royal Giant behind the Giant Skeleton. Dark Prince stays alive quite a long time. EQ down. Will get the bomb tower off the board, and that Royal Giant should get a couple of shots in. E-Wiz to support the giant skeleton, but down to 1358 left-hand lane is the Serbian tower now. Freeze comes in, giant skeleton just barely does not reach the tower. Death damage outside of range of hitting the tower, but the Serbians nearly take the lead back. 1379 left-hand side. Lumberjack behind the Royal Giant. Lightning clears the E-Wiz off the board, now down to 5:43, final 30 seconds. This is a big push for the Serbians. And they decide to hold off and instead set up for one last attempt, potentially. Graveyard. Giant Skeleton high. Giant Skeleton needs it to keep it off this side, so this should be pretty well defended here by Team UK. Freeze does come in, but the log cleans up those final skeletons. And now Lightning comes in, down to 53 HP. Fireball will finish things off. SB and St. Belkin. Same initials either way, getting it done in the first 2v2 game. Very cleanly played by the British squad to open things up here against Serbia. And as I said before, St. Belkin, a very experienced 2v2 player. Had a great run, of course, in CRL EU, where he and Team Queso took the European Championship, dominating pretty much the entire way through that CRL EU season. And of course, St. Belkin has continued that 2v2 form. Great performance with his partner, Bob the Rock, for Clash Contender Series with LA Gaming. They put on a 2v2 run in CCS that was unbelievable. I believe they went 9-1 in 2v2 sets throughout Clash Contender Series. So St. Belkin has stayed up on 2v2 gameplay and the 2v2 meta. A very, very smart, very cerebral player, and he and SB together put together a great show there, a great performance against Cone Corleone and Archon to get game number 1 in the books for the British. A good start for them here, looking to rebound from that loss to Italy. Of course, a lot of Clash Royale left to be played in this match with Serbia. So we'll see if they can hold on and continue to play in top form. Buffmac, of course, really wants to get back in rhythm after a rough outing against the Serbian side, losing in the 1v1 and again losing in the the King of the Hill against Italy. So we'll see if Buffmac has sort of righted the ship and got himself back in rhythm. Of course, most of you picking Team UK today for this matchup. So we'll have stats from that 2v2 match in just a couple of moments here. St. Belkin and SB doing a great job together. SB did play in CRL Asia for the last couple of seasons. First season with AHQ and then with Talon, where he and Tocilovac, his Serbian opponent, I believe were teammates over on Talon Esports. Taking a look just to confirm that one. Yep, they were together on Talon for CRL Asia in that fall split. Here we go. No stats, just right back into gameplay. Game number 2. The UK with one in hand. And minor wall breakers for Team UK. Battle Healer turns away from the wall breakers. Despite the snowball, they connect. So immediately down to 1564 in the right-hand lane. First blood drawn by the British. Inferno Dragon will easily burn that Lava Hound off. And Dark Goblin placed deep. Cleans up the pups. Gets the Baby Dragon off the board fairly quickly. Pressure again from the wall breakers. It's interesting, before the wall breaker reworked down to 2 elixir, the concept of minor wall breakers was more about the wall breakers creating pressure and less about them connecting. Now that they're only 2 elixir, they certainly seem to connect a whole lot more. Poison should get the Magic Archer all the way off the board, and it does. Wall breakers looking to connect one more time. So looks like Serbia will just sack the tower on the right-hand side and prepare for a massive push on the left. Snowball does not hit all the bats, does reset the Inferno Dragon for a second, but keeping those bats on the board and protecting the Inferno Dragon, not what the Serbians wanted. So far, everything going the way of Team UK. And High Pekka will walk out of the range of the Inferno Dragon. Take a look at that. Now, you think for a half second that P.E.K.K.A being thrown right into an Inferno Dragon could be a problem, but if you see how deep the Inferno Dragon was, P.E.K.K.A able to walk away and force more of a response out of the Serbian side. Defensive minor from the British. Final 45 seconds. One tower down for the Serbians. Dark Goblin low. Inferno Dragon reset, but not taken off the board. Inferno Dragon still alive somehow, still playing defense. Poison finally gets it off the board, but with the final 15 seconds coming, I do not believe the Serbians have enough to get this thing back. 793. Defensive minor down. And that poison does clean up the Lava Hound. Easy win for the British. Never in doubt for St. Bellican and SB. Clearly in control the entire way through both games. 2v2 in the books for the UK with absolutely no trouble at all. Here you go, taking a look at the group as we currently stand. Oh, interesting. I believe we still have 1v1 to go, so I wonder if that was a slightly early graphic here. Let's pop back out. 1 second, little difficulty here with, there we go. All right, so I wonder if that graphic might have been a half step early there. That was just the end of 2v2. And Team UK, again, completely in control the entire way through from top to bottom. Unable to get in the game at all was the Serbian side. Archon can get a rough welcome into the NTWorlds, into this international gameplay. Now, Team UK did win the 2v2 last time out and then got reverse swept by Italy in the King of the 1v1 and King of the Hill sets. So nothing is done yet, but I'm not going to bet against Buffmac in 2 back-to-back 1v1 sets. Just, you cannot make that bet. If there's anyone who's should be able to lock things down and get it done in the 1v1, it is of course one of the best to play the game, the British superstar Buffmac, one of the biggest free agents of this offseason, of course, just signed with Tribe. We've mentioned that monster roster that they've put together earlier on today with Azelis, who we also saw, and TNT. But who knows? Who knows what happens? So here you go, guys. We're going to get our 1v1 lineups in just a moment. Very curious to see who the Serbians bring out. Who do you think? I'm actually reading the chat here for a moment. Who do you guys think in chat will come out for the Serbian side? Will it be Tocilovac? Will it be Toci coming out for that side, or will it be Ivana? My guess is it will be the more experienced player, Toci, coming out for the 1v1 set, but who knows? I am looking at chat here for a moment, guys. It doesn't happen often. But as we wait for our 1v1 lineups, Adam says hola. Someone asks a question about Fortnite in French. Well, this is Clash Royale. I took 3 years of French. I speak almost none of it, by the way.
NTWorlds tiene 32 selecciones nacionales que a través de un sorteo se repartieron en 8 grupos de 4 equipos cada uno.
En cada what you're seeing here. This is an explanation of how the overall tournament was built. They were decided into 8 different groups by a random draw, but that draw was set up by region. The Asian teams all in one region. Yes, this is live, Nick Cabral. The Asian teams in one region, and then through the group stage, the top 2 teams from each group will advance to the round of 16, and from there it's a bracketed tournament. Every single match will be played in 3 sets, opening with 2v2, then a 1v1 set, and then, of course, King of the Hill, where each team puts up 3 players, and each player has 1 chance to be eliminated. Of course, our grand final after the brackets will be a best of 5 sets, also in CRL format, with 1 2v2 set, 3 1v1 sets, and if necessary, that final King of the Hill set. And again, you guys know how King of the Hill works, so we'll see if we get all the way there or not. Let me bring that music back up now that the Spanish explanation is no longer occurring. I don't know exactly what the delay is here on the 1v1 set. I'm going to check right now with production and find out what's happening there. So let me go ahead and send a message in and see if I can find out what the delay is with this 1v1 set. Oh, here we go. We do have our lineups. So, and it is what I thought it would be. It's going to be Buffmac out for the UK and Serbia bringing us Toci. So we will see what they decide to bring out. King Crimson saying, can't wait for you and Andrew to commentate together. Me too. Me too, but we live about 10 miles apart in Los Angeles, which might as well be the North Pole and the South Pole as far as that distance works. Here we go into the 1v1 set. Buffmac versus Tochi. And looks like Tochi going minor wall breakers, and Buffmac could be going with something similar. Although this could also be a control deck, a minor control deck. Nope, gonna be... Oh, no, still could be that minor control deck, but probably. Buffmac has been playing a lot of minor wall breakers lately. As mentioned before, Tochi played in CRL Fall 2019 season with Talon in CRL Asia, where he went 3-1 in King of the Hill, 6-9 in 1v1 sets. But has recently had some pretty good performances, making it to the out rounds in the Breng Chong Cup, making it past the group stage, and then in 2019 taking out the number 3 spot in Gameopolis. Buffmac, of course, has won a little bit of everything. CROS champion in the spring season with Team Liquid. And of course, a lot of high finishes, 4 top 4 finishes in the ladder, with 1 number 1 finish. Wall breakers do not connect right hand side. So Buffmac falling behind early. Tochi doing a good job keeping the pressure on. Minor to the right-hand side goes to the number 3 spot for Tochi. EU is hovered. But 1 minor shot does get in, 1697 right-hand side. And Buffmac goes way to the outside there, maybe trying to pull away. Might have been a slight misclick there from the Brit. Minor to the back, picked up by the Stab Gods. So here we go, Buffmac with a decent quantity of elixir. 20 seconds left in regulation. But the pressure from Tochi, very solid. Look at that again, splitting the lanes. And 1 wall breaker does connect left-hand side. Minor gets some damage right-hand side. So here we go, into sudden death overtime. The Serbian player currently ahead on Buffmac, and it is going to be minor poison control, or most likely poison, as that last spell, of course, could be anything, but more likely than not poison. P.E.K.K.A does not come out until sudden death. And there we go, poison does come down for Buffmac right-hand lane. Tochi, a lot of damage left-hand side. Buffmac trying to set up big on this right-hand side, but unable to find a way through. Minor to the back, it's a very well-timed minor. Bandit Dash does get in. Down to 15-18, Stab Gobs trying to support here. The EU is not able to do enough retargeting, but suddenly Buffmac back in the lead, 1099, and with plenty of elixir. And just like that, what was a pretty secure lead the whole way through starts to evaporate for Tochi. And that's what Buffmac wanted. P.E.K.K.A getting value right out the gate. And now Mega Knight will use the Minor to try to pull here. Yes, he does. Minor pulls the Mega Knight to the middle, but just far enough. There we go. Perfect play by Buffmac. The Minor on defense taking care of, and the P.E.K.K.A on defense takes care of the Minor, but the wall breakers connect right-hand side. 131. Tochi keeping the pressure on. No big spell for Tochi, though, so he needs to get on tower one more time. Minor to the back here for Buffmac. Now under 1,000 HP on the right-hand side. Ewit on the left-hand side for the Brit. Mega Knight comes down in response to the P.E.K.K.A. Baby Dragon trying to clear things up as well. Needs to pick up this Minor. The hover does not come down. Instead goes to the back. Buffmac does not pick up the Minor. Second time that Minor goes to the number 3 spot for Tochi. Tochi able to secure the victory against the Brit, and now has a good chance at sending his squad into King of the Hill, where they did come up with a pretty good result, a win against Turkey in their first match. That was a really interesting match all the way around, and you saw Bufmak got exactly what he wanted before that final sequence. He got the P.E.K.K.A down as the pickup for the Miner, and then when the Mega Knight came across, the Miner pull got that Mega Knight to come towards the middle and aggro the P.E.K.K.A, so she went and got out of the fray, but the pressure, Tochi able to get all the way around, and once he cleared enough room, got his wall breakers down and got a connection on the right-hand side, and from that point on, it was probably going to be about it. Despite not having a big spell to finish off, able to go down, get the Miner. If that Ewiz had caught that Miner, who knows what we might have seen there in the final moments, but Bufmak with a good defensive sequence, unable to completely steal the game back away from Tochi, and so now the Serbians have a game in hand in the 1v1 set. Tochi Lovac having a good tournament so far. At the moment, in his head-to-head play, undefeated 3-0. Let's look at the stats from that game provided by our friends at Stats Royale, and it was the Miner, and solid musky work as well. We didn't see a lot of the big boys on either side, Mama P.E.K.K.A or the Mega Knight, but when they came down, it was absolutely consequential. Tochi again now moves to 3-0 in head-to-head play, looking to make it 4-0. Had a nice 2-0 in King of the Hill to close things out for Serbia against Turkey, and now up 1-0 against Bufmak. Tochi went down 1-2 in the 2v2. Bufmak still struggling. Falls to 1-4 so far in head-to-head play here in this tournament. So currently, only a 20% win rate. Now, of course, it's a small sample size, just 5 games, but these next 2 could be critical. If Team UK does lose today, that would be a massive, massive upset for the squad. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 2. Tochi with the game in hand, top of your screen. Bufmak, bottom of your screen for Team UK. So Miner bats, Bufmak maybe going balloon. Miner Musk, loon, looking like that for the Brit. Tochi might be doing bridge spam. Ewiz Zap could be a lot of things, but that bridge spam Magic Archer deck is one of probably the most popular option. And it's still Miner wall breakers for Bufmak. And Tochi with the Mega Nut with the mini P.E.K.K.A and minions probably not playing bridge spam now. Dark Prince gets the pickup on the Miner. Mini P.E.K.K.A has soared in popularity since the Lumberjack nerf combined with the Mini P.E.K.K.A range extension as the range really worked. Ewiz Zap takes care of that push fairly easily. No damage yet on either side as we reach the midway point of regulation. Mega Knight high for Bufmak. And Goblin Giant down. So it's looking like maybe Goblin Giant Sparky or Goblin Giant Double Prince for Tochi. And with that, Tochi Lovac takes the lead back, and with the EQ, almost assuredly that's going to be Goblin Giant Sparky. Goblin Giant Sparky EQ has been the go-to Sparky deck for this tournament. With the popularity of Bomb Tower, you understand why. Here we are, double elixir time. And Tochi does finally get his first Sparky down. Mega Knight high for Bufmak. And the Goblin Giant Zap combination will take care of that Mega Knight. And Miner trying to get the Sparky off the board. Ewiz does stop the connections. Can Tochi get back around to another Goblin Giant in front of this Sparky? We will see Bufmak. Will he switch lanes here and split the pressure? Tochi decides instead to play it safer and get back to another Sparky all the way behind King Tower. There you go, Bufmak now switching lanes. putting pressure on the right-hand side, trying to prevent Tochi from building up heavily on the left, and now Tochi decides to split things up. Goblin Giant Mini P.E.K.K.A right-hand lane, Sparky, dealt with by the Skeletons and Musketeer combination, and a beautiful split wall breakers from Buffmac. That was gorgeous, the way Buffmac defended it. The split wall breakers coming in to put some pressure. One connects on the right-hand side, and they also take care of that Sparky in the end. Buffmac playing beautifully here in game 2. Miner to the back, Musketeer doing some work. 285 left-hand lane. Buffmac in a really good position. But again, no big spell here. Just Miner and arrows, the two ways to get directly on tower. And that Miner, of course, could be caught at any moment. Buffmac eats the mini P.E.K.K.A shot. So deciding here that was better than trying to spend on that mini P.E.K.K.A. And that Musketeer and Wallbreaker, unless, there you go, Mega Knight does come down in time. And Wallbreaker will connect right-hand side. Tochi not worried about that one. Miner goes right to the front. And the E-Wiz comes down to pick up on the back end. Mega Knight getting very close. The Miner escapes 49 HP left-hand side. If that Wallbreaker connects, it does not. Miner, defensive Miner out because the arrow's in hand, and Buffmac gets the win and evens things up in a very, very exciting back-and-forth game between the CRL West star and the CRL Asia player for Talon. Wow, what a game. What an unbelievable game. Buffmac with some amazing decisions, and the way he played those high wall breakers split against the left-hand lane Sparky push when Tochi was trying to split the lanes with the Goblin Giant right and the Sparky to the left-hand side. Really brilliant. You saw it was the Musketeer in response. Skeletons played high, picked up the first shot from that Sparky, but then once they went down, getting ready for that second split, and he split those wall breakers early enough that one of them, the first one, picked up the next Sparky shot. The other wall breaker goes all the way down and gets pressure on the right-hand lane, but the right-hand lane ended up not being where the game took place, ended up moving to the left-hand side. And again, some good min-maxing from Buffmac as well, choosing to take that mini P.E.K.K.A shot rather than try to defend it immediately, knowing he wanted to build up for defense and get a good push the opposite direction. Here we go. The stats provided by Stats Royale for game number 2, and Buffmac doing a great job creating pressure. Tochi getting 3 Sparkies down, but weren't quite enough. Only 1 EQ. No building obviously makes that more questionable. Get those EQs down. EQ is still does get a lot of tower damage, but never got into a position where he felt comfortable just trying to cycle that EQ primarily for tower damage and a little bit of troop damage. Instead, focusing on the Sparky play and trying to catch those miners. Did get that last miner, but didn't get it off enough, and enough room there for Buffmac to use the arrows to finish things off. Arrows don't get enough credit, I think, right now. They have a lot of value with the ability to take guards off the board, archers off the board, a decent amount of damage. Changing them into 3 waves was a brilliant rework. You know, some people are skeptical about reworks in Clash Royale, but I think Arrows is the most successful, or one of the most successful reworks that we've seen so far. The spell in an excellent place right now. So here we go, all tied up. Buffmac 1, Tochilovac 1. And we're going to go jump into game number 3. Buffmac with a chance to close things out for the Brits. Defensive Miner does not go in time to pick up the offensive Miner from Buff. 2158 left-hand lane. Giant Skeleton in the back for Tochi. And with all that elixir expenditure, balloon down. Magic Archer does not line up the Giant Skeleton because of the high Baby Dragon play. Tornado pulling it all back, though. Will it be enough to stop that balloon? It is not. Oh, yes, it is. It does stop the balloon. Does not get in death damage range. And Magic Archer does not get it lined up as well. So with all of that, Tochi now able to create a balloon push of his own. And the Miner coming down. Nice Miner, a half step early, was trying to predict that Hunter. Doesn't quite get it. Gets a little bit early, but still Hunter taken off the board. Tochi with a great heads-up idea. And now Buffmac going the opposite direction. Just a naked balloon. So Bomb Tower will stop that balloon fine. And look at that miner coming in. Balloon does get death damage on tower. So here we are, first minute and 40 seconds away. Buffmac with the lead. Tochi playing Miner Giant Skelly with the balloon. Buffmac cycling his knight in the back, he was behind. Buffmac does have more tools in his arsenal to deal with balloon pushes. That giant skeleton, though, a very interesting wrinkle when combined with the tornado. Miner goes to the back. Tochi taking the magic archer off the board. And that tornado pulling everything up to the giant skeleton. That balloon not going to connect, but will get death damage. Balloon push. Knight in front. Miner to the back. Distracts the giant skeleton. Buffmac putting up some creative stuff. Both players with some really creative plays so far. But that's a very healthy balloon. And Tornado does not get down in time, so Tochi eats a full balloon drop. And now that Magic Archer line all the way up. Buffmac's going to close this thing out. Tower down. Not enough time for Tochi to go the opposite direction. Buffmac with a beautiful reverse sweep in the 1v1. Great play on both sides of the board. Creative defense, creative offense, and Buffmac gets Team UK into the winners column and prevents what could have been a disastrous run for the British. Tochi played very, very well all the way through, but Buffmac just did what he does, which is amazing plays and smart thinking ahead a few steps, and gets the big-time win for Team UK. Wow, that was an interesting balloon matchup. Of course, Buffmac had a lot better counters to the balloon in his deck, but you saw with that tornado, that last push of Tochi's on the left-hand side, there was some opportunity for him to create trouble for the British player, but once he couldn't get back around to that tornado in time and that balloon connection on his left-hand tower, that was it. That was GG. Magic Archer lines things up, gets the tower down, and Buffmac takes the victory in the reverse sweep in the 1v1 set and gets the overall win for the British. So we'll look at stats in a moment. We'll look at the overall standings in that group in a moment, but very, very well played by Buffmac. Has to feel good getting back on track after a very challenging outing in that first match against Italy. Here are the stats from that game. Didn't take a lot of balloons on either side. Buffmac needed just 3 to get the job done, but that third one being the decisive connection that put Tochi down and got the win for the British side. Ewiz, Magic Archer, and Hunter. Not to mention the Snowball together. So the Ewiz, Hunter, and Snowball, all 3 of those are a really great way to stop the balloon. And you saw it was the bomb tower just was not sufficient in this matchup. Maybe Tochi getting a wrong read, not expecting balloon out of Buffmac, and going with this giant skeleton minor loon deck that just didn't quite have the tools to deal with what Buffmac was bringing in. Some very, very smart plays by the Brit. Great use of the miner as well. And he gets the job done. Britain back in the win column after a shocking loss to Italy. Of course, now this opens things up to a very, very interesting set of circumstances. Serbia with the win over Turkey. Now Serbia and Italy will be the next matchup for those two. That creates a very interesting connection. Of course, Italy has to go play Turkey first, so we'll see what happens after Italy and Turkey go head-to-head. But Britain with the 2-0 win over Serbia. So we'll see the group standings in the moment. This group is going to be a little bit of chaos potentially. Italy right now with the 1 win, currently in the lead with the UK at a 1-1 record, Serbia at a 1-1 record. So Serbia still has to play Italy. Italy still has to play Turkey. And then the UK has Turkey as well. So UK and Serbia have both played twice. Turkey and Italy will be a very, very important one. The big question now will be, how does Serbia fare against Italy? If Serbia is able to beat Italy, suddenly you'll have Serbia at 2-1. The Italy-Turkey match, if Italy comes out on top, creates a very, very tight race. So we're going to see some groups here where the top 2 teams run away with it, I believe, and then some groups here where it gets into a 3-way tiebreaker. Of course, Turkey could go on a run here and make things even more crazy. We have no idea how this group will end up. The UK gets the win today, though, a very important win, and puts themselves in a good spot. The other big question is how Serbia will fare against Italy. Serbia looked really good against Turkey, got the win, but it was a tight win, a close win. And then today just could not keep up with the talent of Britain. And we saw how good Italy is. Italy might be the favorite out of this group, so that's going to be the big question. Can Serbia beat Italy? If they can't, it looks like it'll probably be Italy going through, obviously, and then it'll be about all up to the UK and Turkey. And if Britain plays the way that they are supposed to, the way that they are expected to, they should take Turkey out, no problem. And then we have a very interesting situation at the top. Let's go on and take a look at tomorrow's schedule, where I will be back with you once again. We start with Turkey facing off against Italy, the match that I just mentioned. Then we move on to Group G action, where Spain will take on Greece. Spain, of course, having lost their first matchup, Greece as well. And then on to Group E, Germany against Finland, and the Netherlands against Portugal. Portugal, one of those sleeper squads that could hand one of those top 2 seeds a loss. Germany, though, currently looking very good. The Netherlands made easy work of Finland. So Group E will have a lot of decisive action tomorrow as we move through this second week of group stage play. So again, make sure if you haven't already, go ahead and hit subscribe on the No Tilt YouTube channel. Ring that bell for notifications so you don't miss anything, and you can be notified tomorrow when we go live for that action. Of course, the times were all on your screen. I believe we are live at 10 a.m. Western Standard Time, Pacific Standard Time, and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 13 for those of you who are looking at the world clock or looking at 24-hour time. We will see you back tomorrow with more No Tilts Worlds. I'm Rich Slayton. See you, manana.